Zambia has confirmed its first 2 cases of COVID-19. The couple is suspected to have contracted the contagious disease while on holiday in France, only began exhibiting symptoms upon landing at KK International Airport. The government has announced that all schools, colleges and universities will be closed on Friday, 20th of March, in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic that has affected most parts of the world.
Corona, tusangwa pako mimi patapo hapa tatwale suminisha abantu kula isabengi twale basuminisha limbi abali 5 ero na bemini patali bantu aletino kwebata abantu ngabafula kuti limbi umo na kwata virus ero apela kwa abana ankwe so kwali ko challenge ya msango abantu bale ilishani bale fo amenshi nomba tatwale bomba instay itali
COVID pane inabwera monga ku family kwatu na kunchito kunali kuimikiwa manchito then monga ku family kwenze kuvuta mapezedo ya ndrama because tenzochita business so my business yambiri wenze vana imika.
As an institution we were really affected by COVID. We were behind in terms of syllabus. And as a result, this showed even in the performance of the children.
Some of the effects of the COVID-19 on our company were quite devastating in that we lost some staff members. This was very valuable human capital, and may their souls rest in peace. But also the COVID-19 posed a public health risk on our employees in the sense that these are frontline staff that interface with the customers, and then they also work in communities. We saw a decline in revenue in that the consumption of water reduced because our biggest customers, our biggest consumers lost business.
The challenges that came with COVID-19 were completely different from anything the world had ever faced. It didn't just affect the health of people worldwide, but also the global economy and general way of life. Zambia has not been spared from these adverse effects. Lives have been lost, and the health and well-being of many citizens have been affected.
The major solution by many countries was the hand washing. And then we thought that could be the solution also for Zambia. We know that the commercial water utilities were in a difficult situation with the pandemic of the COVID-19, with the economic situation. It was no question for German corporation to support our long-standing partners in this special time of need. It is only through these strategic partnerships that holistic solutions can be attained. And that is why we continue to be deliberate and strategic with who we partner with, aligning our resources with initiatives that provide solutions where they are needed most, such as RWS II and Nature's project.
The provision of water supply, sanitation and hygiene has been paramount in reducing the spread of COVID-19. Aspects like frequent and proper hand washing, this is the basic frontline defense when it comes to mitigating the spread of the disease. And we all have a role to play in the sector, the respective partners that we have, when it comes to enhancing resilience and when it comes to the continuous service provision of water supply, sanitation and hygiene, particularly in vulnerable communities, not only in urban, but also in peri-urban and rural areas.
The GIZ Reform of the Water Sector Phase 2 program supported its partners with interventions related to ensuring resilience, service delivery, and general pandemic preparedness.
The support was so great that we were able to provide activities such as enforcing the law, the SI 21 and 22, the Public Health Act itself, to make sure that the people are able to comply with the requirements of the guidelines of COVID.
The relevance and the rationale for the interventions was anchored mainly on 3 pillars. The first one being strengthening the operational and organizational resilience of the company against the COVID-19 pandemic. We had to ensure that there was continuity of service. Then secondly, creating a good environment for behavior change and good hygiene practices, as well as increasing willingness to pay for water supply services. GIZ came on board, they responded positively. They gave us a grant sort of for COVID-related expenditure, where we procured PPE as well as the chemicals. In this case, we're talking about sanitizers. We also procured equipment to enable our staff to work from home, and also to be able to attend meetings virtually so that we avoid being in one place, to maintain social distancing and also just try and help reduce the spread of the COVID. Further, we were funded by GIZ to implement water supply and sanitation projects in Chunga, Kanyama and Mutendere. There we did water supply extension, but also in Linda compound, where we provided 2 solar-powered bore pumps to ensure that there is continuity of service in the said compounds. And we had minimal disruptions in terms of service provision.
The beneficiaries mainly are from Chunga, where we have connected over 520 customers to benefit over 3,000 people in there, as well as in Kanyama, where I've done 260 connections to benefit over 1,600. Then there is also a benefit that has gone to Mutendere, where we connected 1,000 connections, and we expect to benefit 6,000. In Linda here, the solar power supply system that has been done on 2 sites, 2 bores, we expect to benefit 15,000 customers.
Manzi amene vanaleta yani vanachita connect wa Lusaka water kuno yanatitandiza kwa amene tenzo utapa manzi kwenze kutali, then uzapeza ati maybe ulibe 1 kwacha ya kutugule container ya manzi, but this time manzi tilinayo pa mulyango tinkhala utandizika kuma nkhani ya hygiene.
The second line of defense was multifaceted, targeting the municipalities, schools, businesses, and communities to ensure that they have the capacity and ability to protect themselves and reduce the risks to their well-being and livelihood. This included strengthening community awareness and resilience by allowing them to take control and tell their stories.
NATURES has focused on the community, schools, and on the utility. In the community, we have developed COVID response plans. In the school, we have put in group hand washing stations, worked at monitoring the prevalence of COVID, and sensitized students and teachers on how to improve their personal hygiene. Finally, working with the utility, we've improved security at boreholes and improved the working of boreholes so that there is water available for communities to use for personal hygiene as well.
I would like to recognize the support that we got from GIZ, the RWS II program, the NATURES program. We got gadgets to facilitate communication. We got support also in terms of finances for procurement of a lot of agents to use in those particular moments. The other support was to facilitate the external support with our partners. We work with a lot of partners as Lucy to try and enhance the community response. And the whole idea was to strengthen the community response to COVID-19 and community emergency preparedness as far as COVID-19 was concerned.
We did receive quite a lot of material support that were needed to keep the schools open, and these were in the form of cleaning materials, materials that are to be used by the learners, such as the hand washing basins and just everything else that we needed for cleaning and keeping the schools clean, disinfectants and all that. But away from the material support, we also received quite some support in terms of capacity building as to how we were supposed to handle and conduct ourselves during the COVID. That was how teachers were to relate with the learners during COVID, how the learners were supposed to conduct themselves amongst themselves and with the teachers.
We are committed to shaping a future worth living around the world and believe that deliberate efforts towards preparing, assessing, committing, acting and scaling up initiatives that provide tailor-made, cost-efficient and effective services for sustainable development, we can meet that goal.